Jurassic World Dominion trailer. This came out right before the Super Bowl, and we all expected it to come out Super Bowl week, day, Super Bowl, like that moment in time. But it came out a few days early, and I kept talking, just so you know, but it was
Okay, great.
like when this trailer debuted a few days early, I was just blown away. I was like, I uploaded my reaction video. I thought and that was legitimate. I didn't play it up or anything. I was just like, I am not ready for this movie. I thought I was ready, but I am not ready. And I remember the other day, Stephen Ray Morris shared like a little video clip of that on Twitter, that moment where I said that. And it's just been like, I feel like a very true statement. Like, I thought I was ready for this movie, but I am clearly not ready. So I don't know if the audio is going to play through, but we'll see it here. Hopefully it works. Yeah, I hear it.
Are we just going to watch the whole thing?
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I shouldn't probably watch the whole thing. I meant to go scene by scene. Let's do that instead. All right, where do you want to start? There's not much to talk about, I don't think, in this opening.
I want to start with the greatest mistake of the last 10 years, which is me not recording my reaction to this. For a little bit of context, I worked on the first 2 of the Jurassic World movies, and I have not been very excited for this film because I didn't particularly love Fallen Kingdom's story. Like, I thought it was not great. I've been pretty open about the fact that I am kind of just along for the ride at this stage, and I don't know if I'm really breaking NDA, but as far as I know, I'm not working on this film. I teared up and cried when I watched this. I think it definitely has its weak. There are definitely some critiques that need to be said, but I had an emotional reaction to the things I was seeing on screen, and it is truly a regret of mine that I did not record my reaction, because I had to really isolate during Fallen Kingdom. It's you kind of know. I don't necessarily tell you. I don't tell you what I'm working on, but there are definitely times where it's hey, I can't be a part of this episode, right? During that time, and I think that kind of tipped you off to be okay, I can't push it, right? Because of
Sure.
But I get to see I get to go along for the ride the first time since really 1997, because I didn't even know about Jurassic Park 3 until it was in theaters, because I didn't have the internet. I was kind of whatever. So I get to see a Jurassic Park movie and experience the hype and experience the first I get to experience all of that with the fandom, and I'm giddy about it. I'm really excited to, especially with this being quote the last one. I'm really excited to see this one basically with the world, instead of being someone who had worked on it previously. So yeah, I totally regret not recording my reaction. I had a totally different reaction than I thought I was going to have to this movie, and man, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Now let's play it and let's complain about it. Okay.
Complain about it, man.
There's some critiques. There's some critiques.
All right, so hopefully this works. I had to reconfigure some things. Hopefully that audio doesn't happen, but who knows? We'll see. But yeah, all right, so let's start at the beginning. Is there nothing too crazy in this first portion? There's just a bunch of Parasaurolophus. I think this is cool sequence. I think overall, just seeing this kind of mix of cowboys and dinosaurs. You got Owen Grady here on his horse, riding, corralling a bunch of Parasaurolophus. I think it's going to be really cool to see this. And my God, this scenery looks incredible. It looks so good.
It's a Harryhausen film. You know, like it's. I've been wanting a Valley of Gwangi movie, and I feel like we're getting aspects of in this trailer already. You know, like Universal is here being like, we're dinosaur content. Like, you're not gonna go. We're gonna put dinosaurs everywhere, and mix them into all kinds of genres so that nobody else can do dinosaurs the way that Universal does dinosaurs. Um, you know, this is kind of them owning that genre of film.
All right, so let's see, where do we go from here? We've got, oops, we've got Owen. This shot from the images that we saw recently, and I know you have some issues, right, with this guy, the Parasaurolophus. I actually think it just looks really cool. Definitely different than before, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty beautiful.
I mean, my only real issue is that like it doesn't have that traditional Crash McCreary head, but at the same time, like I don't know that this is necessarily an Isla Nublar Parasaurolophus either. You know,
No,
like
yeah, it could. I don't know. It could be anything. So that's why,
it could
yeah,
be
I don't
really
feel like too
like
strict about like we were talking about with the canon stuff. It's like I'm not gonna be too strict about like where this comes from or why it looks the way because we don't know. We have no idea where any of
and
these
I,
things
and
are
I
really
guess
coming from.
and I guess that's kind of like where I'm at with it now. It's like, you know, I had friends had shown me this, you know, because on when these trailers come out, dude, I get people that I haven't talked to in 20 years sending me messages about
That's
Jurassic
amazing.
Park content. Um, and you know, a lot of my friends were like, "Oh, CG looks terrible. This movie looks stupid.
Hmm.
Uh, the
Wow,
movies
really?
aren't all that great." Yeah, and I'm just like, and this is kind of where I've just become broken in the last 2 weeks. Where I'm like, but can't you just have fun with it? Like, do you not watch this trailer and go, "Wow, this just looks like a fun adventure dinosaur
Huh.
movie"? Like, and so I think that's just like, yeah, is it the Crash McCreary dinosaur?
Ooh,
No.
that's cool. I didn't know you could
Is
do
there
that.
anything? Is there anything telling us that it needs to be the Crash McCreary dinosaur? No. Can I just take my own advice and just have fun with the dinosaur movie? Okay, fine, sure. I'll just have fun, I guess. You
You
know,
know,
like
I
that's
know
where
a
I'm
lot of
at.
people are complaining about how it looks really fake with Owen riding this horse, but like I don't really. It's not something that bothers me. I feel like it looks real enough to me. Like I don't see how this isn't real. But
I think it's one of the weaker shots in the trailer, but
I love the idea
I'm just gonna have
of
fun.
I love the idea of this like kind of like we were talking about with the Kenner stuff and building your own world, and that is a world that is Jurassic to you. And I feel like that's this. It's like people on horses riding next to dinosaurs. Like this is just incredible. Like this
Yeah,
shot to me is just so
yeah.
cool. Like I just love this. I don't know if it makes
This
any
is
sense, but I
this
love
is
it.
legit. Like I started like having like an emotional reaction to this trailer at this point because I was like,
Well,
it's like
it
I
also
didn't
has
I
that
didn't
John Hammond quote over it too,
nah,
which
but that stuff whatever.
that
That
hits
didn't
me. That hits me.
I just like I just saw my imagination as a child on screen, and it was good enough to be like, oh my gosh, like I don't
Yeah.
really care about any. I don't care about canon. I don't care about bad CG. I don't care about uh, weird design changes anymore. I just want to see my imagination put on the screen, and like I'm totally in. I'm totally in.
Yeah.
Again, I was asking Colin Trevorrow, please prove me wrong as to like I wasn't being excited for this movie. I'm excited for this movie. I'm in from this shot alone. So
Yeah,
you
I
got
I
me.
think I think all this stuff in the snow looks pretty beautiful. And then we come to Maisie at a logging facility or something like that. I don't know. She's just bypassing, just walking through. We've seen a lot of Maisie prior to the release of this trailer, like in the snow, in this outfit and stuff. So here she is, checking out Apatosaurus, which I love this sequence, and I love that like the sound effects in the trailer, like that boom, and it just like coincides with the call here from the Apatosaur. It just like looks so beautiful, and I feel like this maybe is like 10 times bigger looking than it looked in Jurassic World, but, like, I don't care, it looks awesome to me.
No, like you gotta think those people in gyrospheres. That looks about right. But
I guess I'm just
agree to
thinking
disagree
about
on some of the
Owen Claire next to the head. Just I feel like this is much more bigger. But you don't like the sound effect used in that spot?
No, honestly, this shot, like, there's something weird about the camera lens again, kind of like similar to the T-Rex in Jurassic World. Like, it just something's just weird about this shot. I don't know. I mean, like, it's totally fine. Like, this is so minor of a.
I think this shot's amazing. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Like, I like this because it's like down at the people's point of view down here. You're following Maisie. It's not like from her perspective, but you're seeing like from their view. This is, of course, a little bit farther back.
Does the Apatosaurus tail like really taper that much at its base? I feel like that's what like I'm looking at my Mattel Apatosaurus, which I think is like, I think that Mattel Apatosaurus is really cool. Like, I think it looks like the Apatosaurus.
I have no idea, man.
There's something with the way this model is posed that I'm like,
I like the coloring though, dude. It looks like fantastic. The coloring looks really, really cool. I don't know about the tail structures and all that garbage. I don't know. I
just want to have fun at this point. So like, who cares?
Yeah.
So I think the lensing is weird. Whatever.
We do have Blue, and at this point I was like, oh, here's Blue, and oh my god, there is Beta. Like, I just didn't expect to see Beta in this trailer.
I had you had said on some video like, oh, there was rumors, there was speculation, yada yada. I was not expecting it at all. So like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, awesome. And then I started making like parallels to Beta looking not quite pure Velociraptor-ish. So I'm wondering what comes of that. What is happening there? People were like, she looks like the Atrociraptor a little bit. I'm like, yeah, she kind of does. I don't see that being like a narrative point in this movie though. Like, I just don't see that for some reason.
I never really thought about that, but you've got a point there. I don't know if things would change once Blue was infused with the T-Rex DNA, the blood. Remember the transfusion? I mean,
you're talking about really sketchy sci-fi. I mean, Jurassic is already really sketchy.
Why? Why would it be like, it's literally you've transfused two different, like, so whatever she would have made prior, maybe the DNA is different now. I have no idea, but like, I never thought of it that way. Like that she doesn't look really. She just looks different than the size of the other ones.
If you were in a car accident, right, and you needed a blood infusion, and then like 3 years later, you and your wife decide to have another kid, like, the kid's not going to come out looking like the person's that, like, if that's not.
No,
it's not. It's not gonna come out looking.
Sure, you're right there, but I don't know if they were to take a clone of me before I got the transfusion and then after the transfusion, maybe things are different. I don't know, but who knows? Now it's out of here. But I don't care about this. I think it looks fine. I think it's just an older version of a raptor that we saw in Fallen Kingdom. We saw smaller babies. This is like the next step up. But I don't think there's anything weird there. I think I like that
when they're lethal.
Beta is has a cracked sickle claw, which you can kind of see there. It's not the fully formed claw like the giant sickle, so that's kind of cool. So, and then we got this nice shot of them just kind of running through. Awesome shot here, and just like look at the cues, like Beta looking up at Blue, just trying to see where we should go. And this shot, like, this is just amazing. Like, this shot to me, like, almost looks like what you would see from, like, I don't know, like Iron Studios or something, and like their fake dioramas that they have, because it looks so cool. Yeah. It just looks so amazing. Like, I think this is awesome. But this beta should be a 1-to-1 of Blue, if that's how, because apparently that's how it all works. I'm not a scientist, but this looks so good. Looks so good.
Science.
Got this awesome logo here, the Amber Universal logo.
Yeah.
Owen and Maisie. And then, there is an interesting line here. Let me see if I can play this. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit. I think it's right here. Forever. Oh, yeah, wait. It's a little bit farther back.
We can't keep her here forever.
So Claire basically saying we can't keep her here forever, and then you see a shot of Owen trying to like control Blue and just say, "Hey, calm down." And they're definitely pointing you in this direction of like, we can't keep Blue here
If
forever.
they find her, we're never gonna see her again. We gotta protect her. That's our job.
This is definitely misdirection, right? Like they are 100% talking about Maisie. They have to be.
Oh,
Just blew your mind there, huh?
of course. Yeah, of course. That's what they're talking about.
Has to be. Like on first watch and maybe 2 or 3 watches after, I was like, oh, definitely about Blue. I recorded like all of my content. I was like, oh yeah, they're talking about Blue here. And then like as soon as I sent out my content and watched the trailer again, I was like, oh, I think they're probably talking about Maisie. Like we're not going to be able to keep her here. If they find her,
Maisie runs away to, and the Test Sharp books. It's about maybe that's what triggers this thing. Is like they got to go find Maisie because Maisie has kind of run off or whatever out of rebellion or out of maybe chasing down Beta. I don't know, but
no clue. I have this feeling that like
but like
I have this feeling that like based off the DNA. Yeah. With the DNA stuff that she's got going on, being a clone, and then later on we're going to see Dr. Wu, and he's going to look like sad and stuff. I feel like maybe he like gives up some information to like Dodgson, and then Dodgson like sends out this rain guy to go like capture, and then he maybe captures her or something. I don't know. I could see that happening, but they definitely have to be talking about Maisie. Like it's definitely got to be misdirection. Trailers are always like leading you down routes that like are incorrect. This has to be that.
We can't keep her here forever.
If they find her, we're never gonna see her again. We gotta protect her. That's our job.
If they find
Yeah,
Maisie,
it's
we're
not-
never going to see her again. They're going to do tests. They're going to try to clone her. We are never going to see her again.
And I also don't feel that Owen feels like it's his job to protect Blue either. Like Blue is a dangerous animal. Like Blue can handle herself. And yes, you're right. I feel like coming out of Fallen Kingdom, there is definitely a look in there's a moment where Claire and Owen look at each other in that car, like, what the heck are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the answer is to go hide at this cabin that he was building, and they're gonna hide the girl. They're gonna hide Maisie. And I think that is far more interesting to me than hiding Blue and hiding Beta. Like, because I feel like Blue and Beta are the same as any other dinosaur at this stage. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Even more excited. Thank you for
I think that's got to be it. I think that's interesting enough, and it'll take the film in a different route than maybe expected or something. But man, look at how good this looks. Like Beta looks phenomenal in this shot. Like my God, that looks so realistic. But pretty cool. I like this idea. Let's move forward a little bit. We got them. Oh no, that's backwards. Oh, we got this shot of the Mosasaur attacking this cage, which I think
trick well.
I think this shot, maybe it was this shot, was in the preview that was in IMAX. I think this was in there when they initially released it, and then they changed things up in the prologue and added, a different sequence or whatever. So that's pretty cool. Nice little takedown here of this boat. Pretty awesome shot. And I want to get your thoughts on this because it seemed like, based off everything Colin had said and these articles that were out, it sounded like nothing that was in the prologue was going to be in Jurassic World Dominion. But here we have this shot of the T-Rex against the the drive-in theater, and we have a shot of Colin's son right here as well.
Yeah,
and that's it. That is all we get of the T-Rex. So what do you think is going on? Do you think this was like, hey, we don't want to really spoil what's going on with the T-Rex in the movie, so we're just going to throw, like, the trailer needs a T-Rex, so let's just put this shot in there. Do you think that's the case, or do you think this is actually in the movie and they were kind of lying about that or misleading us on that?
I think it would be fair to say that, like, anything that was the real, I didn't necessarily. When I watched the prologue, I guess I didn't really feel like all of it was prologue. I felt like the stuff from 65 million years ago was prologue, and then like they took us into a little teaser of the movie. They took us into a little snippet of the actual film, which, you know, maybe this is the prologue of the actual, you know, how Jurassic movies always kind of have their teaser scene. I feel like this would be an okay one to do. Don't spoil more T-Rex than you really have to.
I don't know. Based off of Colin saying, like, there's that video from, I think it was like IGN or something like that. They had an article when this prologue came out. Colin says, like, these 5 minutes are not in the movie. So the thing is only 5.5 minutes long. So I don't know. I just assume that none of this is in the movie. So it's interesting that they're putting it in here. I'm hoping that, like, they're just like, we don't want to show you anything, or maybe the T-Rex dies in the beginning. Maybe there's too much in this movie and there's barely any T-Rex.
No,
like,
dude. They will not kill this T-Rex in the beginning of the movie. I don't think
put
they'll
it
even
past
kill
them.
the T-Rex. No, you will have a JP3 situation on your hands if you kill that T-Rex sooner than an hour and 40 minutes into the film.
Yeah, look, I understand. I'm just putting out a plausible outcome here, but like I don't know. I think
how can you lift me up, Brad, just to tear me down?
Look,
so
I'll build you back up. Because what the prologue sets up is this grudge match, right, of the Giganotosaurus versus the T-Rex. It seems like they're setting up a grudge match where the Giga, just kills the T-Rex in the beginning. That blood goes on to create this T-Rex here. And then it would make you think that they're setting up a fact where the T-Rex will beat the Giganotosaurus in the future. But I don't know. It's weird that they haven't shown anything else other than this moment. So I kind of hope this is not in the movie. I really don't want this to be in the movie because I've seen it. I want something else. Give me something fresh, you know?
It's like 20 frames of a movie. Sure, whatever. Put it in. I don't care.
No. It's like the whole I don't have it up here, but the whole sequence. I don't want this whole sequence in there. We already saw it. But I definitely could, like you're saying, see the movie open up that way, where it's like the movie opens on that shot of the helicopter, and then it's, the first 3 minutes or whatever are just that sequence. And then it, the guy's like, well, we can't find her anymore. And then it cuts to the Jurassic World Dominion logo. And then it's like the start of the movie. But I don't know. It's interesting, though. I think it's interesting that it's in the trailer. But then, of course, we do get this nice dig site here. You got some boots walking in. Who could it be? Who do we think is holding this red handkerchief here? Do we know anybody? And then how did you feel, man? Let me know how you felt when you saw Ellie and Alan. Come on, give it up.
Fine, I guess. Like,
oh, come on, fine.
Yeah, well,
you are a monster.
This has not been something that I've been like needing. Like, I need good story. I need realistic dinosaurs. Like, I need I need to be excited about like the designs of everything. Like, needing this like Avengers team up. I didn't need it until the final shot of this trailer or whatever, and then I was like, oh, you proved me wrong. I need this. So like at this point when I'm watching this, I'm like, hey, this is great. They're back. Like, we've seen bringing back these actors in inferior films to Jurassic Park. So
sure,
like seeing them back doesn't necessarily make me go, oh, this is going to be a great movie, because in my mind, I'm like, well, we've seen Alan Grant in a Jurassic Park film that's not the original, and it wasn't great. We've seen Ian Malcolm in a Jurassic Park film that is obviously inferior to the original. I shouldn't say obviously inferior. I feel like Lost World is like, there's like a split. Yeah.
Excuse me?
I think the Lost World is inferior. I'm not saying it's not good.
I think, here's the thing. I think I might be recording The Wire solo from now on.
I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying it's not great. But I have Jurassic Park on such a high pedestal. I have the original on such a high pedestal that like nothing can beat it. So, am I excited these people are back? Yes.
Let's hear what they have
because of that. because of that final.
Sally Sattler.
I had to cut you off. There you go.
You
Ellie
didn't
said,
come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You
I love that. I love that line.
And that,
Oh, and this,
that's a moment too where I was like, oh, I love this dynamic between these characters. Like,
yeah,
he is begrudgingly like, no, I don't want to go back. I've experienced this twice already. Like, and look at this. He's not mad. He's not happy. He's curious. And that to me is like Alan Grant. Like, that right there is like an Alan Grant look if I ever saw one. And I kind of dig this idea that she like eggs him on, like, are you coming? Like
if there's anybody, it would be her, you know?
Right, exactly. And so, like, again,
Yeah.
seeing them together, like seeing them back in the movie, not all that, like, doesn't get me all that excited. It's this dynamic that they have. It's this like, they are the characters from 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he looks fantastic in this shot. Like, this is Alan Grant. Like,
yes,
he hasn't skipped a beat. Same thing with her. I mean, like, this is just them, and it's fantastic. Right. And I think it's interesting. Like, you know, they bring her into this trailer, and like, she does have a ring on her finger. There is a ring. That is the left hand, and that is the ring finger. I think people have pointed out that it might be a different ring than the one she was wearing in Jurassic Park 3. But I don't know. I mean, look, what's going on here?
If Marvel can stick a Hulk in a trailer just to replace him completely down the line with a robot, then they can for sure put a ring on it and then just get it out later. Whatever. You want to get picky up, sure, whatever. So she's still married. Like, who cares? But just, oh man, she's still kind of poking at him like she did in the original film. You know, he's still, it's just that they feel like they're characters, and that's what gets me, like, and it's gonna get even better. Like,
yeah, the dynamic's perfect. You do have the original picture of them too. Look, you can see it over on the right over here, which is fantastic. You do have the resonating chamber from Jurassic Park 3 over here, which is also fantastic.
Why is it on the table? How?
Look, man, hey, if you know dinosaurs are out in the world, which they have been for several years now, so he knows. He's like, dude, I got to keep this thing ready. Out on the table. It's not in a cabinet. It is there on display.
If he was smart, he would have started mass producing this thing, you know, and selling them like duck calls. You know, he'd have been Dynasty.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. They had a 3D printer. They could do it. It might take a long time, but people are saying that this dinosaur over here on this graph, on this paper, is the Giganotosaurus, I think. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in this scene. It looks like really lived in. It looks real. Fantastic. And look at how out of breath he is. Ellie Sattler. You know, he just saw her for the first time in a long time. And she's maybe still married. So, interesting.
Yeah, dude, I'm ready.
Yeah, so good. And then this summer, we've got, again, this is a shot that, like, is phenomenal. Also, not filmed by Colin Trevorrow, but what are you going to do? This is a stock footage kind of thing that they bought and put into the movie and added Parasaurolophus. There's this. It
looks like a Molson. It looks like a beer commercial.
Yeah, dude, it probably was at some point. Like, it literally just these the horses are there in the stock footage, but they added in these parasaurs, and it's just like a beautiful shot that fits perfectly into this movie. Like, it's so good. Yeah. And it's not the first time. I mean, they did it in Fallen Kingdom, and they did it in Battle at Big Rock. The Fallen Kingdom one was the surfing sequence was just stock footage that they added in Mosasaur. And then I think it was like a few different sequences at the end of Battle at Big Rock were just like those cell phone footage clips. Here we have the what do you call this thing? The Therizinosaurus, looking real tall, real big. And it's like staring at Claire as she's like crawling towards the water. And I'm like, it's Caesar, right?
This is the beginning of me going, stop showing me things. Stop showing. There's so much in this trailer. Like, what's left in this movie? Oh my gosh, what's left in this movie?
See, I feel like I still feel comfortable enough right now. I know we're gonna get out of control soon, but like I still feel comfortable enough that I don't know enough. That they haven't revealed too much. It seems like they are just around the corner in obviously this biome from Camp Cretaceous. They're probably on Cash Island right now.
Don't even. Don't.
I'm kidding. But we got Kayla Watts here with Owen staring down that Therizinosaurus, it looks like. Can you see them anywhere else in this? I forget. No. So
Dude,
I'm just
that's
guessing.
such an awesome shot. It's such an awesome shot.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Dude, it's
Like,
so cool.
Claire's not really in this trailer a ton because she probably gets her head bitten off right in this moment.
They were like, we brought in
That's
Ellie
it.
Sattler. We've met our woman quota for this movie, so
Oh, God.
we can only have one. We can only have one.
No.
And I'm sorry, Claire. You're
that typically is how Jurassic works. But here we have
not untrue.
yeah, I know. Unfortunately, we have Ian Malcolm here, looking fantastic as always. Looking just as Ian Malcolm as ever.
I liked the beard in the second movie, but this to me is like book Ian Malcolm, where they describe him as like a rock star. Like he thinks he's a rock star because mathematicians think they're rock stars. And like, I feel like this is how Ian Malcolm ages. Still dressing slick as ever. Still thinks he's a rock star. It just, dude looks awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't. It's so good.
I don't know what he's doing here, whether he's just like in an apartment or he's like giving a TED talk. I have no idea. But I want to hear what this actually, yeah, that was the wrong way. Let me see what he's saying. Play.
We not only lack dominion over nature, we're subordinate to it.
So that's fantastic little line right there. Not only lack dominion, saying the name of the movie, pretty much. Fantastic. But this is interesting. We've got a shot here of what clearly is Maisie, right? Checking out some DNA
this is something
strands.
I'm worried about. This is something I'm worried about. Like,
what do you think's going on here?
It's like, how do we make science fiction digestible to a child? Let's do an iPad game where you switch out DNA strands. Like, it's almost as ridiculous as like the Spider-Man mini game in the new Spider-Man game. Like, it's like, how can we make something really complex seem really simple? Oh, let's do a touchscreen where you just, it's like, because like, let's look at that. It's BRCA2. It's like, oh, we want the skin color to be green and not red, so we're going to switch out the red DNA strand for the green, or whatever, vice versa, whatever's happening in this shot. It just seems, I get it, it's necessary, but
I mean, who knows? We don't know. It's not. This is not like, I think she's got to be in some facility. Maybe she's kidnapped at some point, and maybe she's in like the Biosyn facility, and she comes across the computer like she did in Fallen Kingdom. She snuck down into the lab and copied somebody's code or whatever, and got down there, checked out some video and stuff like that. So it's not unusual for her to have done something like this. So it's interesting. I wonder what this is for. Like, is this them testing her DNA and switching it out for other people or something like that? Like, what is this? I have no idea. I can't wait to find out.
This is the beginning of the human dino hybrid. That person is wearing pink. Now Maisie doesn't seem to be wearing pink. Is this Brooklyn?
This is
Brooklyn?
This is Brooklyn. Oh my god, dude. No, come on. That wouldn't be past Brooklyn either. Brooklyn would certainly do the same thing. But no, this is her red sweatshirt that she has on under her green coat. Let's go back. Roll the tape.
Looks pink to me.
Look at this right here. Maybe it's pink, but it's a a purpley pink reddish hoodie underneath her green jacket. So,
but for the record, I'm okay with it not being Brooklyn.
Obviously, it's not Brooklyn, but there it is, right there, Brooklyn herself, Maisie. And then we cut to Dr. Wu. Just
look at this! Look at this guy, man.
he
Dude,
is not
BD Wong
happy.
looks really good with long hair. Like,
Yeah, he's killing it.
dude, look, yeah, exactly, killing it.
And he's who do you think he's staring at? Does he just so happen to be staring at Dodgson? Got a guy in a suit
yeah,
there.
I mean,
you got a suit.
maybe.
Nice
Yeah.
pinstripe suit there. And he's in his lab facility. I feel like he is just being talked down to. You know, he's probably here against his will or something like that, and he has no other route to go. He's a disgraced scientist, and maybe Dr. or Dodgson is making him do things that he doesn't want to do, and maybe he'll turn around in the end and help save the day or something like that.
So BD Wong has been really open about the fact that he wants his character to have kind of the book ending for the character.
He says there's like an ultimate, like a nice conclusion or something like that for that character. Yeah.
Okay. Do we feel that, like, does Wu have a redemption in this film?
I think so.
Like, what could redeem him at this point?
I don't think anything. Look, I don't think there's going to be like an ultimate redemption for him. Like, it's like a Darth Vader redemption, right? Like, but not to that extent because he didn't mass murder like hundreds of thousands of Jedi across the galaxy. But like, you know, he's got that same quality where like you save Darth Vader in the end, and he helps save. You know, he helps kill the Emperor and throws him down the well. Spoilers for Return of the Jedi if you haven't seen that. So, sorry, I didn't mean to ruin that for you. But, you know, he helps, you know, save the day. And at the end of the day, like, Luke has his moment with his father. He gets to say goodbye. And, like, he's redeemed at that moment. But, like, it doesn't erase his history. I think that's the same thing here, where he's redeemed in the end. He does something to maybe corner Dodgson in a room like they do in The Lost World. You know how they certainly, like, you know, Ian and Sarah are probably murderers because of what they did to like Ludlow. They like put him, you know, I feel like they probably like forced him down there in a way, and like he was killed by the T-Rex. I feel like maybe there's something similar to that, where like he's like, hey, I'm gonna lock myself behind this gate, but leave it open for you to die, or something like that. I don't know. I could see him and saving himself. Maybe he dies in the end. I could see something like that. But, you know, I just can't help but want that egg moment from the Jurassic Park book. I really want that to happen, like so bad. I just want that on record constantly, that I want Alan Grant in this Biosyn facility injecting eggs and then throwing them at the Atrociraptors to kill them. Like, how cool is that?
I think it's the perfect opportunity because they've made Velociraptors in this franchise be kind of like the hero dinos now. And I think you have such a perfect opportunity because they seem to be making the Atrociraptors the new, quote, bad guys. And, like, you're okay with Alan Grant basically killing an Atrociraptor egg and throwing it at an Atrociraptor. Are you okay with Alan Grant injecting a Velociraptor egg and throwing it, or I guess really any egg, and throwing it at a Velociraptor?
I don't really care. I don't really care at this point what it is. You know, maybe if it was like Blue's eggs or something like that, that would be like, come on. But like, I don't know, like any old Atrociraptor egg. I don't know who that is.
Where are we at in this trailer? Because this trailer just keeps giving and giving and giving as we go.
Speaking of Atrociraptors, you have Claire running away from.
Now it's Uncharted.
Oh, dude,
Give it to me.
It is. Yeah, and look at this Atrociraptor. I know it's super blurry, but like, this design is like straight up the Lost World, dude. It is like, that's tiger stripe Atrociraptor there. Look at that thing. It is so good. Oh, and this running sequence. This is also like Jason Bourne or James Bond. Mostly James Bond. I like the newer James Bond movies have this same vibe. Like, look at this is Lost World right here. Like, come on. I can't get like a good shot of this thing. It's just so fast.
It's like, it reminds me of like Aquaman.
Oh yeah, that sequence too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just amazing. Like, everything about this like looks fantastic too. Like, so real. Like, look at that. That looks so realistic, just flying across, and definitely vibes of like the raptors jumping out of the long grass too, like that jump there, the Velociraptors. But again, this is the part where Claire dies again. Experience the epic conclusion. So we got the epic conclusion coming. Then we have the Apple headquarters.
This is when I was like, is this Umbrella? Is this like the Umbrella Corp? Like, what is going on? Dude, can we dissect this building right here?
Let's do it, man. What do you got?
All right. We know that Lewis Dotson's in this movie. Is this Biosyn headquarters?
Of course. Right? Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
And
no question.
Look at the fields on top. Like, they're storing dinosaurs up there, right? Like, they've got.
Do you think? I don't think so.
Why else would you have a bunch of trees on top of a building like that? Like, look how small those, like. There's got to be some kind of dino storage.
Do you not see like modern buildings? They all have like grass on them now.
I feel like not to that point.
No, maybe not to this extent. But I don't know. Do you think they need to be hidden? Are they trying to hide themselves? It's not like too hidden, like because there's all this metal stuff all over the place, and obviously, so they're not hiding.
I think it's camouflage. I think it's like, hey, let's keep some of the smaller animals in this like sectioned off field on top of the building. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's just a visual thing more than anything.
They have a shipping. I've seen things online. Oh, is that how they get the Mosasaurus into the thing? Like, okay, you don't build that waterway for one dinosaur. You build that waterway because you plan on shipping animals to your copycat Jurassic World. Like,
yeah, very well could be.
That is like your major throughway into like delivery, delivery and shipping. It's like he's kind of created. I feel like this is like a mini Nublar almost, like in building form, and he's just gonna be pumping these animals out and sending them to wherever
very well could be.
Wants. Like,
yeah, I didn't necessarily think about what the waterway was for. I always just kind of looked at it and was like, oh, that's weird. But yeah, like a little canal is kind of interesting, a dock. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a pretty interesting setting. That I think this is where the finale of the film takes place. Like at the end of the trailer, you see the entire mountainside in flames, and you can actually see down there. There's those two buildings. There are these two like outposts over here, which there is like I know there is an outpost playset coming. That is one of the Mattel outpost, playsets coming down the road, and I would assume it's probably one of these things, like these little towers.
Probably.
And so it's pretty cool. But I like this. I like this facility. It's very, very interesting. And look at this copter. I mean, I don't know anything about helicopters, but does that exist? Is that real?
Yeah, I think something similar.
Looks amazing.
I think something exists similar to that.
Well, Alan Grant is definitely showing up. He's like, hey, what's going on down there? What do you got down there? Dinosaurs? I don't know what he's looking at, but this could be a completely different location. There is like a mountaintop down here. Oh my gosh, the mouse is so big. So you can see it moving in the window. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he's going.
This does feel to me like the very first time in Jurassic that like we have something. I mean, I'm not going to say a building like that doesn't exist, but it does feel very like Marvel.
Camp Cretaceous.
Like this feels like I haven't finished. Oh my god, this building's not in Camp Cretaceous, is it?
No, it's not. It's not in Camp Cretaceous, but Camp Cretaceous takes the sci-fi elements to another level, right? And it has like it kind of feels like this. Like there is a building similar to this, kind of in that show, but I'm not trying to compare the buildings. But this is just a take on Apple headquarters. If you look at Apple headquarters, it's like literally the same building. So it's just that. So I don't think this is like some hidden thing. I think everybody probably knows about it, but
how is it, dude? How is it not hidden? There's no parking lot. Where are the workers? Parking?
They live there. I don't know.
Okay, well then it's definitely a secret. Like it's not like I just
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I mean, it's in a mountainside. It's kind of like that Bond like layer kind of thing, right? It does have that vibe to it, I guess.
this to
Um,
me just feels like something very like it does feel like the first time in Jurassic where we have something like straight out of the Marvel universe, and
mhm.
I'm a little hesitant about that, except for like, I mean, I also need this building to have a history. Like, it can't just be something that was built in the last like 5 years, right? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I want this building
Well,
to have like a history, like this has been going on since 1993 or seven. Like, maybe Nedry was pillaging the Lost World or something, to kind of fast track his endeavors, right? And maybe this facility has been here since the 90s. We're always talking about like, look, the Lockwood Manor doesn't justify how dinosaurs take over the world. Like, there
mhm.
wasn't enough escape. But if this thing has been producing dinosaurs since the 90s, and maybe he never figured out like how to age them, and so like maybe it's like the coming of age of his animals, where it's like, finally, it's been 20 years, I finally have animals that are like full size and like ready to be shown off, and he's like getting ready to like, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
I
It
have no
could
idea.
be. It could also be some sort of like hunting preserve kind of facility or something like that, where they produce the
Yeah.
dinosaurs and then release them into this area with the outposts and stuff like that, or maybe inside this circle. There, maybe they could release them in there or something. There is like a
Okay.
little facility or something in the middle here, which is kind of interesting looking. But
Interesting.
who
Okay.
knows?
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it is kind of like it's a very interesting looking building, and I can't wait to see what it is. But I think like if you look at the technology, like we haven't really seen outside of Jurassic World all that often, outside of Nublar. In this day and age, we saw like an airport, we saw the Zach and Gray's house, we saw a little bit of San Francisco. I think that was about it, and some of California and stuff right at the end. But yeah, we don't know what the world is like. And if you watch Camp Cretaceous and you want to consider that canonical, like it has a lot of advanced tech in that show, especially in season 4, where you're like, well, that was only 2016 that they had that tech. What is it like now in 2022? So who knows? But Grant doesn't like. He is concerned, man. He does not like what he sees.
No, he does not. He's like, I know there's dinosaurs at whatever I'm looking at, and I don't like that.
Yeah, and I like this though. I do like this. This is fantastic. I
Yeah.
love. I think this looks so good. I don't care what your friends say about CG or whatever, but like, I think this looks amazing.
I think this looks cool. I think, it gives me definitely the framing of this reminds me of the Kenner card of the raptor
It's
in the
it's
hallway.
literally the exact same framing. Like it's so
Yeah, it,
good.
it
It
really
is.
is. Which is funny. I'll send you, because I also have been working on a project, and it's like my project is like legitimately based off of uh here, I'll show. So like, this came out and I was just wrapping up. Sorry, I'm vamping here because
Well, I
I'm
mean, if
looking for
if
your
if you're
window.
sending me the picture, I mean, I've seen what you've been working on. So,
Did I send it to you?
well,
The
you
final?
posted
I
it.
want the
You posted it online, but yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's the
yeah,
final. Go ahead. Pull it
yeah,
up on
okay.
like, yeah.
Well, I don't
Uh
have that capability in this current
oh, well
format.
then, oh, like, can I not even send you something?
uh, I no,
All
yeah,
right.
don't let's not mess
Tellingly,
with it.
look,
Let's
hey,
not mess with it.
go follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and you can see it. I posted it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
But yeah,
and
it's identical to that shot,
it's like
which is cool.
it's like identical. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, like, this gives me that vibe. I'm down with this. This makes me feel like this is a smaller sequence though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's a very interesting place. Looks like a different, it has to be a different place than, this headquarters here. I think it's not the
Right,
same facility
right.
as that. So like the fact that this is going everywhere is so cool. Um, Look at this thing. Like, and it's also a dam too, by the way. Like, there's certainly, they are on the ice on top of this dam, which is kind of interesting. This thing's running along the dam. The Pyroraptor, which is what we're talking about here. The Pyroraptor looks so good. My God. Oh, like the high def version looks amazing. I love this. They've definitely, I think, a lot of people have complained about the raptors not being scary. Hopefully it looks like they've changed that here. So,
I
and
mean,
this is the
maybe
end. This is, yeah, maybe, but this is the conclusion of a Jurassic era. Like, how do you feel when you read that?
that really scares me. It really does.
I think we're out of a job. Don't you mean
not
extinct?
even that.
You
I'm
didn't say,
thinking
you didn't finish the line. I'm
because
so
I don't
bummed.
think that's where this is going.
Who knows?
I am highly worried that this leads into a new era of universal monsters, and not to bring in like Frankenstein and the classics, but
Scorpius, Indoraptor, weird things like that. Human hybrids.
Like I just feel like so much of the really loose science and so much of like the justification the fandom has made for why the dinosaurs look and act and sound and blah 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 different, like you just keep driving home this idea that they're not really dinosaurs. I'm highly concerned that this leads into Universal making monster movies and using the Jurassic era as its history. Does that
Maybe?
you know
I just think, like, in terms of the Jurassic era, I just think that's like the Jurassic Park era. Like, all the storyline that we know is done. I don't think that means you're getting like off the wall stuff. I think that means like we're just moving on. We're moving on to new stories, new characters. I had this fun idea the other day. Like you could do spin-off stories without touching on InGen or the parks or Hammond or anything like that. You could do spin-off stories set on insanely huge spectrum. Like you could, like, we've always talked about that little story, like, of a small town with the raptors in the forest or something like that. Perfect story. Mosasaurus movie, perfect story. But I was like thinking maybe you could like set a storyline, like a timeline, infinitely long, where like you get like a movie close to home, but then you get a movie like where humanity has fallen and it's like way down the line, like hundreds of years down the line or something like that. And it's still part of the Jurassic saga, but not like the Jurassic era of movies. Like I think that could be interesting, where like you get a movie that's hundreds of years in the future, and it's kind of like Planet of the Apes or something like that. Like, where you see the Statue of Liberty, like, no, like in the sand or whatever, something like that. And you just sit there and you watch this movie. You're like, that was an amazing movie. How did we get here? And then all of these other movies slowly plot to that point. Could be interesting.
You don't think they get rid of the Jurassic World branding though, right? Like that seems like a huge mistake.
I don't know. I mean, I would assume they would keep it. But it's
so like
it's touchy.
The movie you're talking about has to be called Jurassic World 3099 or something. Like
no,
they're not getting rid of the Jurassic World brand. It's not going to happen.
Is there a way to just make the logo just Jurassic instead of, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park? Maybe it's like the Jurassic Age or something like that. They always talk about a new age, so I think it's questionable because like the Star Wars stories haven't necessarily worked, as far as like the titling goes. They made Rogue One a Star Wars story, Solo a Star Wars story. Now they don't make any more Star Wars stories. They just go to Disney Plus, and then they're not Star Wars stories anymore. So it's going to be touchy how they work on that titling from here on out. I think they do still need to have that logo though, the Jurassic logo. So maybe that's why this movie doesn't necessarily like they haven't been using the Jurassic World logo all that much in promotional stuff. Like at the end of this trailer and constantly that, like, in all the TV spots and the Super Bowl and stuff like that, it was literally, they didn't even title the name of the movie. There was no title. It was just the little like the T-Rex head. That was it. I think that's what this becomes. It's gonna be like, I don't know, Jurassic symbol.
But Mandalorian and I mean, look, all the Marvel stuff starts with the Marvel fanfare.
Yeah. And that, man,
Mandalorian.
imagine how cool that would be, dude. Like with all these, continually adding on to that. That would be really cool.
I mean, maybe, but like I'm thinking again, still it's gonna be Jurassic World. Like they've invested in that brand. They invested in it so much that they just completely turned up their nose at Jurassic Park, which is what made them successful in I'm talking marketing things, So like they've invested in this Jurassic World. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it is like Disney Plus where like because it still says Star Wars. Like the Disney Plus shows all start with a Star Wars now like logo of the helmets. And then they say it says Star Wars, and then you just move on. So do you think Jurassic World just becomes the new banner, and then the movie can be just called whatever? Like it doesn't matter.
Huh. Yeah, maybe. I have no idea, man. I think the logo has to be involved in some way, and maybe Jurassic World sticks, and it just becomes all these subtitles. But I don't feel if you're going to change it up, I don't feel like you would do that. I think you would, like you're saying, have brand new branding, and it's just like maybe the Jurassic World logo is just small underneath. Maybe the Jurassic World logo is now the subtitle.
I mean, for the record, I don't necessarily want new branding. I think they've invested money in the logo design and the words Jurassic World to mean something. And
well, I just think it's interesting that this is what they are going with. Like there is no title. There's no title card on this movie. It's just this. And think about the prologue. The prologue only used that like other one, that like very rock looking one with the smoke. No Jurassic World logo. So this is interesting that they are kind of they're like moving away from it. They're kind of doing like what Fast and Furious has done in a way where it's like, we're not even going to call these movies Fast and Furious. They're just Fs now. F9. Like they've subtly, like they've gone from the longest titles, the Fast and the Furious, and then subtitles, and then they just went to Fast 5 or whatever, and then Furious, and then now it's just F9. And that is what the movie is called, is F9.
They did this with the first 3 movies too. It's like we're gonna have 2 cohesive logos, and then we're just gonna throw some random one at you for the third one. They did it again. You're right.
They did it again, but it's nice. It's a nice looking logo. I love it, and I wonder if that's part of the strategy of disengaging from the property in a way. If they just have this show up in the beginning, like you're saying, and then like the title of the movie comes up, like that. Yeah, it could be interesting. They just fade in with this boom, 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 boom. Imagine the Lost World, doom, 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 and it just like slowly fades in. That'd be so cool. Like the Marvel stuff. That'd be awesome. Anyway, let's go back to the trailer. Okay. Look, so take a look at this shot of Ellie. Notice anything different about Ellie here?
I mean, am I looking for a ring?
There's no ring. Not this time.
Yeah, all right.
No ring. No ring. When is this set? What's going on? Was that set earlier? Was she married back then? Or did she just do it to like not like rile up Alan? Did something happen in between? Like what's going on?
I think this is another sequence that could potentially be the first sequence of the movie.
Interesting.
Like I think this could be. I think this is another potential for this to be an opener, because we've said a million times we don't want these characters just to be like, just to pop up, and I think having this be the opener sets her on her like hero's journey to go be involved in the story, to go find Alan, because maybe she's a botanist. And I would imagine that she is kind of she's at this location, maybe studying why maybe like the crops are dying off or something like that. And then comes across this extinct breed of locusts or something that these kids are running from. Maybe she's in the region. Like maybe this is just like the crop yields in the last 5 years have been minuscule by comparison, and Ellie Sattler was kind of called in to take a look into it. Not Ellie Sattler, but like whatever company it is that she works for or something.
She worked for Biosyn. No, I'm kidding.
I
No,
mean,
I love where you're going though. I love that idea of, this is what she does. This is her job. She's not looking into dinosaur stuff. She has nothing to do with that. She's at a farm, wondering what the heck is killing off all the plant. I mean, look, it's a desolate looking place. Like, it looks like it's like been broken down for a little while and struggling. These poor kids are getting attacked by some bugs or something. And there is a nice little parallel if these are bugs. That shot from the prologue starts off with a big, massive bug landing on the trunk of a tree that turns out to be a dinosaur leg, So it's like a nice little parallel there.
Yeah, I think this has potential to be the opener of the film.
That's interesting, especially from a ring standpoint. So if this is the opener, so let me go back to this point that Colin had said. Ringgate. Yeah, Colin had said something at some point in time in some article or somewhere that this movie is structured different than other movies, or in a unique way. Do you remember there was a quote like that somewhere?
No, but I think we were kind of going to be. I think this was kind of expected with the fact that we've seen the image of what we very, very much assume is the Jurassic Park laboratory, right? So,
okay, yeah, mm-hmm.
And with the InGen box and all that stuff. So we've kind of assumed for a while that this was going to be structured in a way where flashbacks could be a part of how they tell this story, and not just be a linear A to B or A to Z like all the other movies have been, Yeah,
I'm trying to find the quote, because I can't seem to find it at the moment. But there was definitely a quote at some point in time where Colin said that it's not structured like a normal movie. I thought it would be here, but maybe it was in some other article. So it makes me wonder, if this is at the beginning, like how do all these characters come together? I don't know. I have no idea, but I am interested to see what's happening here. All these bugs flying down. That looks terrifying. Then we got a shot of Claire here, and I want to take a listen to this real quick.
Come back.
I always come back.
Come back. I always come back. Do you think he comes back?
Yes, dude. You are not getting the death of Owen Grady in this movie.
Dude, I think we might. Do you really say that like that many times? Do you say the words "I always come back" and then you come back? Like, I feel like that's a big setup. Like, somebody says that line and then they die right away. You
are not getting the death of Owen Grady in this movie. You're not.
Maybe.
I just don't believe it.
No, I don't know.
I think
it's possible, but
didn't he have a very similar line in Fallen Kingdom?
Yes,
the bunker?
that's what I mean. Like, how many times can you say that and still come back?
What does he say in that movie?
I think it's the same line. I think it's literally like he jokes about it, like, I forget, but there's a joke in there. But it's like the same kind of line. Like, why would they make that joke twice?
Because I think this is just them having their relationship moment. Like, this is a familiar thing that they say to each other, because there's no way that these two are broken up, but like, again, at the beginning of this movie.
No. No, that's not the case. I just think I just think that it's interesting to say that twice.
He's a dinosaur wrangler at this point. Like, he's obviously out on the job wrangling dinosaurs close to his cabin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's used to being out there a lot more this time around. But I think
Right.
it's an interesting thing, the fact that they say it basically 2 times. But then we got them back in Malta again. Owen's hopping on the motorcycle, getting chased by 2 different Atrociraptors, I believe. I don't think that's the same one that was chasing Claire. Look at that goofy looking guy. And then we've got that ghost looking one. Ghost is over there on the right.
They're goofy.
Yeah, they're
goofy
beefy. They're massive looking.
They don't look like they could be as agile and fast as they are. And I think that's what's
I don't know.
really weird. I know everyone's excited about their hands being oriented the proper way. Like, sure, okay.
Like this shot though, like of them, this to me was so unexpected when Owen's on this motorcycle, turned in that corner. Very James Bond sequence here. Look at the lighting on this Atrociraptor. Oh, it's so good. Oh, that's fantastic. And then he turns this corner, being chased by 2 Atrociraptors, and there's an Allosaurus. There's an Allosaurus and the Carnotaurus facing off against each other.
I'm just like, something is happening. Like, how did these 2 dinosaurs? I mean, come on, we have to believe that these are nublar dinosaurs, right? So, like, how did these 2 wind up in Malta? And, like, I mean, was there more than one Allosaurus coming out of Lockwood Manor, that like there could be one at Battle at Big Rock and then another one in Malta? Like,
yeah,
it just seems like
I think so. I think this is. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea, man. To be honest,
just think that like
I think this is the one from Fallen Kingdom, this Carnotaurus. But this one, maybe it's the one from Battle at Big Rock. I don't know. I mean, apparently we are getting a sequence from Battle at Big Rock in this movie because it was in the prologue that was in theaters. But I want to bring you to this point here. It's let's switch over here. I think it's this one. All right. So have you seen this yet? This image here of it's a wallet from our buddy Michael Corelli. You know Michael as somebody who dresses up as Owen and goes to like theme parks quite a bit. He found this wallet for sale at Universal Orlando, and it's a wallet that has like a poster image, basically like of like a wrestling poster or something like that, or boxing match or something, where you would hang this up, and it says the fight of the year. It's got the Allosaurus versus the Carno, and it says Saturday, July 30th, July 30th with a Jurassic logo. It's got Fight Ring, Amber Clave, Night Market, Malta, 8 p.m., $20. However many dollars that is on Malta. I don't know. But interesting, right? Like, is this not like a little interesting tidbit? Does this tie in, or is this just like somebody got a glimpse of this sequence and then they just made their own poster art for a wallet?
This was on sale at Universal?
Mm-hmm.
Universal is selling this product.
Yep, this is, and the other side is just like a standard wallet where you put your cards in or whatever.
Interesting.
Right? It's pretty amazing.
I mean,
like
we kind of expected it, like, right? People were buying dinosaurs, and you have to find other ways to make them part of entertainment aside from like a zoological thing, right? And dinosaur fights, like we had talked about as zombie fights, is something that people would pay money to go see, you know, because that's what people want. They want dinosaurs fighting, right? But it's interesting that like they're like just so blatant about it early on in their souvenirs.
Yeah, I mean, this could be totally legit that on Malta they are doing underground fights. I don't think like this setting that is
I don't
in
think
like
this is even underground.
Oops. No. Well, what I was gonna say is I don't think like I just skipped past it by mistake here in the video. Let me go back.
Well,
I don't think this is the battle that people are expecting. Look, none of these people are like, they're not watching a battle. They're scared. They're running.
No. These things got out.
They got out. But I think maybe this could be legit in terms of like there is a battle, but some like Owen or Barry or somebody or Claire let them out. And now they are front and center in this plaza here on Malta. But like, I think it's pretty interesting that this could be legit.
This changes my rigid stance that the Atrociraptors were created by Dotson. Like, I'm thinking that like Dotson has like his own like quote raptor pack. Like the Atrociraptors could essentially could have been a part of like the Nublar story, right? They could be Nublar dinosaurs too. It just seems that like somehow a large group of dinosaurs has shown up in like this company in Malta has bought a bunch of species of dinosaurs, and it's an attraction in Malta to fight dinosaurs after the events of Fallen Kingdom. And man, that's interesting, dude. Like,
yeah, I mean, I wanted to bring up another picture here. Bear with me. Let's see. I can't make it any bigger. Can I? No. All right, let's just go to that. So I want to go back over here real quick. So this is that Lego set, right? That has the Atrociraptor coming out of this truck, which like this truck is like made for this Atrociraptor, it seems like. So is this something that plays into the story of the film? Like, I feel like, you know, maybe they just corral these Atrociraptors around the world and just bust them out of these trucks. Like, I think that's possible. Like, the truck itself is fairly thin, so I feel like it's like only made for like one Atrociraptor to go in each truck. But if this plays into the film, I have no idea. But I don't think it's going to be like, you know, like the Pseudoceratops was on the, you know, on the boat and we never saw it kind of thing. I don't think it's going to be like that. But I don't know.
Do you think Dotson is like, look, dinosaurs have been. See, I don't want Dotson to have only been creating dinosaurs from 2017 or 2018 to now. Like, I want Dotson to have more of a history with creating dinosaurs. So, like, part of me is like, okay, did Dotson see that dinosaurs are now viable again as a money-making thing, and then start making his own dinosaurs to supply to meet the demand of dinosaur attractions around the world, and like that's how we're gonna get the spread?
Yeah, I don't know. I
It's
mean,
interesting.
the world, like, we could have no clue, but there could be other parks out there. You know, there could be, like, there is Disney World and there's Universal. There's two separate companies with rival theme parks. This could very well be the case. We have never seen it.
But I feel like, no, that can't be the case as of 2018, though, because, like, they talk about the dinosaurs on Nublar as being
true.
like the last of their kind, at least that like people know about, you know. So that's why saving the Nublar dinosaurs is so important, even though you could just make more. But yeah, I don't know. It's super weird. Like, Dotson has to come into this.
Well,
again, he sees an opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
And Colin's been saying the whole Apple versus Windows thing. Like, now anyone can make dinosaurs kind of thing. But, like, again, I want Dotson to have been a little more nefarious than, like, just, like, creating dinosaurs since 2018. I kind of hope that there's more of a history there.
Well, I hope it's that history that we discussed. Like, I really want that outcome of Wu following up on that Barbasol can, or somebody following up on the Barbasol can, and Dodson and Wu working together to try to make something work, but the DNA wasn't viable, and then they failed. You know, like, I would love to see that sequence of them really trying to make the dinosaurs again in Biosyn headquarters, and then just not working, you know, and not coming to fruition. And there's like a little bit of your history of, as far as like what they've been up to, what have they been doing, like why they failed, how they actually did, and maybe what they went on to do after that. But I think that they're only going to have started from 2018. I don't really feel like there's going to be any other history outside of him trying. But I don't know. I have no idea.
We'll find out, right?
But I think this is interesting though. Like, this could potentially tie into into the film, or it could just be some cool poster that, you know, somebody that designed, because they do have a really awesome person out there that designs, you know, cool merch at you know, Universal Orlando. So maybe it's just something that they just made. But you know, maybe they heard that there was a cool sequence of Allosaurus and a, you know, Carno in Malta, and then they just made this up.
And just made this up.
Yeah, it's possible, but I don't know. But let's move on here. It's going really long. So we have a chase down here. Owen or Chris Pratt was not in Malta at all, so this is all fake Chris Pratt face. Good shot of the Atrociraptor up there. Yeah, that was actually a really good shot, clear shot. Jumps down and certainly kills Owen right here. That's the spot where Owen dies. That's why they blacked out. And then
this is all they needed. This is all they needed to show us, by the way.
Yeah,
that's all they needed to show us.
And it's like the trailer kicks into another gear at this point. Like
Yeah,
it really does. Like it's like it blacks out and you're like, oh, the trailer's over. Oh, nope. It's like we're gonna go silent for a second and just like meh, meh, meh. Warning. You think that's another plane up top? You think there's a plane up there making that noise above us? No, it's not a plane.
What I find interesting is she knows it's not. Like, I mean, granted, it's like kind of obvious, but like,
yeah,
she knows what it is, right? Like that's what you gather from this interaction.
Yep. Yeah, she knows. I mean, she you know, this is her plane, which if you look at it, like it's very personalized. There's like dinosaur stickers on the window. So I wonder if she's like part of a team, like their team, and not just some like pilot for hire, because like she's got dinosaur stickers all over the place. Like it looks like there's a cat's like over here. I don't know if it is, but it kind of looks like one. So I have no idea, but very personalized. You got Christmas lights, you got beads hanging up. I dig it. I think it's a really cool looking plane. But then we move on to the cats attacking, and obviously this plane crashes into whatever this location is back here, right? That's how they get down here. This is set after this moment.
Maybe.
Because the plane goes down.
Why do you think that? Is there? Oh, there is snow in the background of this.
Yeah, there's like it's a very like snowy. See, look, same kind of mountain tops and stuff like that in the background there. And then obviously I think there's shots out here. Like, oh my god! And as soon as this trailer when this trailer happened, this claw clamped on. I'm like, yes, it's happening. And then this shot of the cats, dude. We have talked about the cats so much on this show about like getting the cats and having like similar sequence that we saw in that test footage and stuff. And that's certainly not the case, but like the fact that we're getting one, I hope there's another one. I hope there's two of them. I want to see like multiple of them just flying through the air. And obviously there was many of them in the prologue. So the assets are there. Just make multiple of them and just fly them around each other. I want to see that so bad. But this thing is just incredibly beautiful. Attacking at this plane. Like, oh my
Look
God.
How big it's so big. I mean, like honestly, the only thing that I could say to make this shot any cooler and better would have been if they would have done a black and red cats instead of their own color choices. But
this color choice feels so Jurassic to me, and I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's interesting, because I start feeling like we start getting into this mode, and I said it over and over again, like we're getting away from the McCreary stuff, and this definitely feels like a major transition out of like, if this is a Nublar based dinosaur, I'm gonna be like really upset.
But like I feel like it has like vibes of like the color schemes and stuff of like the Lost World pteranodons and stuff like that. Like it's kind of like along those lines. So it feels legit to me. Like I love it. I think it's so good. Maybe it's way more bigger than it should be, but I don't care. I think it looks awesome.
Exactly. Like that was like, I saw that complaint on the day one. Like, oh, the catch is like way too big. And it's like, just have fun.
Like
just have fun.
This is a movie where a cat is attacking in a plane. That's incredible. I never would have thought we would have gotten here. But here we are. Look at this shot. Like everything about this is incredible. Like the whole body of this plane is just destroyed. And look, you can see it's like very snowy down there. Kets takes off. And then we got, obviously they've abandoned ship, right?
Ejected, yeah.
And now there's also pteranodons. So not only cats, but there's pteranodons. Nublar Jurassic World pteranodons, yeah. And also, I don't know if that's a Dimorphodon over there or not, but it kind of...
No, it's too big.
Yeah, it might be too big. Yeah. But yeah, Claire's getting attacked. So that's the moment right here where Claire dies. And then they cut to another shot. And then this shot, very cool. We've got those Battle at Big Rock Nasutoceratops here, and which it looks like the same ones. Which this shot, wait, I don't know where this is. Maybe this is the Department of Fish and Wildlife airport that was in that Lego set. And they're trying to get their baby back. Maybe they're trying to get their baby back. Oh my gosh. Because that's what was in that set, right? It was a T-Rex and a baby egg. They're like, give us our baby. Give us our baby back. Like, this shot, dude, is just one of the coolest Jurassic shots I've ever seen.
It reminds me of, there was a comic book card that came with a Jurassic Park comic book, and it was a Triceratops taking on a Jeep, and the Jeep was like on its side, and like the Muldoon quote character was like trying to lasso this Triceratops as his car's like toppling over.
Yeah.
Like this is really cool.
And we did see a baby Nasutoceratops in a cage, right?
Yeah.
Colin shared that a long time ago.
Yeah.
So maybe this could be set like before Battle at Big Rock or something like that. Who knows? It could be at any point. And then we got that other Lego set right here, right? Erupting into Look at Beta. That's hilarious. I shared an image of blurry Beta at this moment, and I said, "This is how I felt right here. This shot. This is how I felt watching the Jurassic World Dominion trailer." And then I got well over 2,000 likes on that tweet.
Wow.
It went pretty crazy. But yeah, it erupts in, and I don't think we can like slow-mo and stop and see, but I don't see any trap or anything in the air, but Blue is certainly like looking up. And then here comes Rain Delacourt in his red truck.
Yeah, like there's the truck, right?
Yep,
yeah.
there's the truck. And then this dude, I feel like you'd love this shot here. Does this give you vibes of the Lost World? Does this like is this like
I did love this shot.
Like that the Kenner that container thing from the Lost World? Very much vibes from the book too, of that thing that hangs down from the high hide. I guess this is the Giganotosaurus, probably, I guess.
Do we know that? I don't know. I don't know if we...
I don't know. I mean, it's no confirmed, but it maybe could be. And then we got this awesome shot.
Look at this shot. Look at this shot.
Amazing. And this is certainly vibes of like Nedry going to steal the embryos, right? Like it's got vibes of that.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you tell me ahead of time that the old crew is coming back, and I kind of don't care until I get shots like this, and I'm just like, oh my god! Like they're working. John Campea has said it. You've said it like early on. This movie is doing what Star Wars failed to give the fans, which was wanting like the old crew really interacting with the new crew and doing it in a way where they were all together, as opposed to like giving thing, as opposed to giving like each one of the old crew their own movie. Fans wanted the generations to come together, and this movie is doing it. And that's what's exciting to me.
Yeah. My hope is pretty high. My hope is pretty high that we will still get that moment in Star Wars. I feel like we still will.
You know. I mean, I hate to break it. Carrie Fisher's not around, right?
Oh, I know. And also
Harrison
Luke,
wants,
and also
like, nothing to do.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know Luke is certainly not like 30 years old anymore. And that's possible. And I know there might be some de-aging in the next Indiana Jones. So let's think about how that might tie into Star Wars. But and certainly Carrie Fisher has already been de-aged for Rogue One. So put them all together, make it happen. Anyway, we've got Alan Grant with a wrench in his hand. How awesome is that? That is so good. The only thing that would make it better is if he just had like a nuke in his hand from the toy line. I wish there was a white shirt, Grant. I wish he was wearing like just a white shirt.
You're never gonna get it.
I know.
You think they're gonna put Alan Grant in anything other than his blue? No.
They made that
mistake. No. They made that mistake once,
I know.
And look what happened.
I just want that Kenner white shirt Grant to make sense to me. And but this is a cool shot. They're in some sort of like boiler room or something like that. chasing down some dinosaurs. It's giving me very
I
much
wish-
vibes of like the, and it obviously it cuts to a Dilophosaur, but it gives me vibes of like Jurassic World Aftermath, where there was like this underground area that had like pipes and stuff, and there was Dilophosaurs like hidden all over the place. So I wonder if it's something like that. That could be cool. But then we do cut to Dilophosaur. And this is actually right here is the moment where Claire dies. So how come every shot of Claire is her dying? Why is that the case? Why is that the case? How many times can you come that close to death and make it out alive?
I'm gonna say something really unpopular.
No, you.
I was hesitant when they announced that they were changing their puppeteering, staff, and they were going with the puppeteers from like Dark Crystal. I was nervous about that. Then I saw those compies that I had a very unpopular opinion of them being off reference because they looked weird and different. And I was like, okay, so the compies are weird and different. Whatever. They're just compies. Like, it's not like they're going to be the star of the show. And this is a weird looking Dilophosaurus to me. I don't know if it's because it's a puppet and we've seen so many CG things now that like the puppets stand out, but like I feel like its dimensions here of its head are like way off by comparison to the old Stan Winston one.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. So like I'm really nervous about the puppeteering work in this movie because I feel like every puppet we see has a weird quality to it.
We did see it was leaked back in Fallen Kingdom days, right, where the T-Rex was in that truck. And I remember looking at that and I was like, "Oh no, that does not look good. That looks bad. Very bad. It does not look anything like our T-Rex that we know."
But
I
then
think
they
when
replaced the whole thing with CG.
once the time the film
happening.
when the time the film came out, it was like it looked pretty legit. I think the only thing that's weird about this is maybe the eyeballs. They look like fake eyeballs. This one has like a monitor or something like in the eyeball there.
An eye ding. Yeah, you're gonna get that.
Yeah,
they add that stuff in. They add that stuff in, even if it doesn't naturally show up. They still put that stuff in because it's like film grain. Your brain expects to see it, so they put it in, even like in CG and stuff. Like,
in this trailer, like the film grain is heavy, dude. It looks fantastic, actually. But look at the eyeball here. It's like very like dazed. It's like half closed, and then here it's like just fully wide open. I'm actually cool.
Yeah.
Like, look at the tongue looks blue here, but then not at all here. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's
at the tip, but dude, look how blue this entire tongue looks. Straight blue, and then here it's just like under the play button.
I'm still holding out that there's a surprise with the Dilophosaurus because I think it was kind of uncool. If this is our Dilophosaurus sequence, I think it was kind of uncool to like put the thing in the trailer, and like this one's bigger, but it's still not as big as a Dilophosaurus. So,
I'm actually
sizing it up, but
I'm cool with the size up, and I actually don't mind it looking a little different. I think any of them can look different. It's fine with me. I don't care. But it's a little weird. When I first saw this, I was like, yeah, that looks weird. Oh, it looks like CG to me. And then all of a sudden I watched it again. I'm like, oh no, that just looks like a weird practical thing. So it was like, I think that's what's good about it though, is the fact that like things can confuse you, and when you're confused by what you're looking at, like that works for me.
See, it stuck out to me so much as a puppet, like as an animatronic, that like I'm starting to wonder. It's like you can't have it both ways. It's like it can't be like, oh, the CG looks terrible, and then the puppets look terrible. It's like
I know that's the age-old argument in this franchise, and it's so boring and tiring at this point. Like we've always said, I know what is real in the first movie, and I know what's fake in the first movie, and that's okay. Like I know this is this is real, but like the next shot probably not going to be real. It's just going to be like jumping around or something.
Right.
So it's easy to distinguish, but I think it looks fun. Looks all wet and gross. But then we cut to one of the final sequences here.
They didn't
Everybody
even have to.
together.
They didn't even have to do the Avengers style turnaround, man. They just got everyone together. You know, the only thing that could make it any better would be to stick like Lowry and oh, what's his buddy's name in the first movie that we know is in this movie?
Oh, Barry?
Barry. Yeah, I mean, golly, man, maybe they've digitally painted out Sarah Harding out of this image
Oh, that would be
for the
amazing.
trailer. It will never happen.
It's like that Lost World trailer that we're gonna get, right, with all the characters right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the thing that we want, but it's never gonna happen.
Yeah. No, I think I can't imagine there's other people, but like this is plenty. But yeah, this is just amazing. Like I don't understand how these people are together, why they're together, why are they all working together? None of this makes any sense. But yeah, this is certainly that place that we saw from way above before, you know, in
Yeah.
the Apple
Yeah.
headquarters. But I love it. I love it. I gotta play some audio here.
Don't move.
Don't them doing the don't move, dude. So Marvel. Like that is Star-Lord and Thor together. which hilariously he is Star-Lord and he was in Thor. So it worked.
Yeah,
And
I
so was Jeff too. So both of them were in Thor.
I
Like them doing that is so funny.
It's great. It's great for fan service. I do wish that we had a little bit more history on Owen's interaction with the dinosaurs, as opposed to like we kind of just know that he was really just a raptor handler.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Jurassic franchise, raptors, it's the moving part is not really a thing. So like, I guess historically, I wish we had a little bit more, a little more story with the day to day of like what Owen does. Like, does he interact with any other dinosaurs? Because all we really know of is the raptors. Just as a like as a
No,
nerdy
well,
thing, I kind of wish we had that in retrospect. But this is still cool. This is still a great. They have a commonality here, which I think
Yeah.
is great. You know.
yeah, surely we don't like see him learning about dinosaurs, not, you know, the trait of the T-Rex, not, you know, not seeing you if you don't move kind of thing. Maybe it's just something he picked up when he was at the park, and he certainly had plenty of dinosaur interactions since then.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't question it. But yeah, if you know, it's been 4 years and he's been out there in the wild, maybe doing things like this, maybe working with the Fish and Wildlife, maybe he's part of her crew, you know, Kayla's crew or something of tracking down dinosaurs. Like maybe he picked up some knowledge. But
Sure.
But yeah, I love this sequence here. We get Giganotosaurus there, stomping out. This like what happened here?
Cool.
What happened here, dude? It's just like on everything's
hey,
on fire.
you talk about misdirection. Are they looking at the Giganotosaurus in this? Like, are they saying don't move the Giganotosaurus? Because the rule is the T-Rex. We don't know about Giganotosaurus.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like. I see Alan would know the difference, right? Like Owen could maybe not know the difference, but Alan would know. So if they're looking at the Giganotosaurus,
I mean,
does the don't move work? Like we don't know. But if what we're talking about with the prologue setting up this grudge match against the two big bads, it makes sense that the T-Rex would be right there in front of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what's kind of frustrating is like, first off, the don't move, like that was like disproven a long time ago. And then even just the other day, you've seen this like this insider video series where they get professionals to like kind of like rate different scenes or whatever.
I don't care. I don't care about that stuff. That's not in the world. Like in world, nobody.
No, I know.
Nobody said otherwise.
I get it. But like, it's so random that like the fans want like there's a group of fans that want these things to be so paleo accurate, but yet they're gonna get super excited when like disproven science from 20 years ago is like still like brought up. Like
I don't understand why we need anything to be accurate in this movie. You know, it's just a movie. Who cares?
Yeah. Right.
But maybe the fact that Ian here says,
Why do they always have to go bigger?
Like that kind of, and this is not the T-Rex foot. Like that, maybe they are looking at the Giganotosaurus alone. Like maybe that's it. This whole shot looks odd to me though. Like this
Because it
doesn't
looks
look.
really fake.
It looks really fake. Yeah, it looks really
Yeah.
fake. Like so, I don't feel like
you can see the matte lines of like the mountains in the back, like against like a sky that doesn't. I mean, even though that might be accurate, like to like a night sky against like a fire, like I just don't believe it. There would be more smoke along that skyline, and like
yeah.
just artistically, it's like why would you have that crisp difference in that thing? And then you have like, of course, the set, and then you have like stage lighting on them. They're lit from the front when clearly they have a very bright light behind them that should be
yeah.
putting them in like shadow.
Yeah.
So like
It's very odd.
yeah, like they're front lit, which means the light in front of them to do that has to be stronger than the light behind them, because the stronger light is going to be it's just super weird. It's a super weird fakey looking shot. Unfortunately, like I try not to be too hard on like I really try to take all these CG shots, and you know the worst I really want to say is like maybe could have done better, maybe whatever, but like this shot like really stands out to me as like a Jurassic Park 3 level like slap comp. Like it's really weird.
It does look like that moment where Grant says "Don't move" to everybody in JP3, and it's like kind of like odd looking right there. But so aside from odd looking, because it definitely looks like they were just plopped into this whole sequence. So none of this could be real. We don't know. But I do like these rigs. Like this is that stuff that we saw, I think, from a top.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I wonder if this is some sort of like high hide type thing where like you get into this rig and it sends you up a little bit up here to the top, and you're just just above the dinosaurs and you're able to watch them. Or you could get into that rig that Maisie was in and get a little bit closer. Where was that shot? This thing. No, this is got to be something different. There's no way they would like let you get in there and get bit by a dinosaur.
No.
It's got to be the same place though. I feel like it's the same place.
I don't feel like that's even like I don't feel like that's even like a cage that she's in. I feel like that's
it
one
might
of those,
not
like,
be
ladders. I feel like that's like a fire escape ladder or something that's like surrounded by.
Honestly, it looks like a roller coaster track or something. Like, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does look like a ladder, I guess, or something. Yeah,
like a radio tower ladder, maybe.
I don't know if there's any ladders on this thing. See anything, but it does resemble like this cage kind of thing up here. So who knows? But it's like a weird mix of like a construction rig, but also like a viewing platform. Like I don't know what it is. It's weird.
Well, it's definitely designed. It feels like it's designed to observe dinosaurs in a in some kind of habitat. So like,
yeah,
you're right. Maybe is this like a hunting grounds that's been created, or is this like? And it feels permanent. It doesn't feel like it was just like set up.
No, yeah, this got to be permanent. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is a pretty interesting sequence, and I wonder how much of this is going to be real or fake. But
I mean, the unfortunate thing is like, regardless of real or fake, like that's the shot. Like this movie has been in production for so long. It's not like a Marvel movie where like I feel like you can look at the trailer, 3 months out and understand that the movie is still kind of being made, and so that you're going to see some quality changes. Like this movie is made. It's so like I don't think we're getting any. I don't think we're getting any like revamps on any of these shots. So like any shot that you have a problem aesthetically with, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right. But that brings us to the end of this, right? It's just the end. The logo minus an actual film logo, just the T-Rex head in theaters June 10th, and that's it. That is it. So yeah, man.
So good, man. So good. I'm so excited.
I feel like we just talked about that trailer for like 2 straight hours. What were we doing? Why did we do that?
I don't know. But I've not eaten dinner. I've not eaten dinner, buddy. We should.
Oh man, well, 1 a.m. dinner, nothing better than that, huh?
We should say our goodbyes.